started seated. You could sit cross-legged or kneeling, or you could stay in your chair. Take a couple rolls of your shoulders and your head. Get still, sit up tall, rest your hands on your legs, bend your elbows so you take that reach out of your arms. And we'll start with pyramid breathing. I'll count the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. They'll be equal in length. We'll start small, we'll increase, and then we'll come back down. And as you move through this breathing exercise, the aim is to take the full length of each part of the breath, inhale to exhale, even if it feels too short or too long. So you're practicing using the length of time to breathe fully. All right, take in, exhale, clear it. Here we go. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing. And take an easy count. And feel your inhales matching the length of your exhales. Now make your way to a tabletop position. Come to your hands and knees. As you land, spread your fingers, press the tips of your fingers down into the floor. From that pressure of your hands into the floor, send your shoulders back, tuck your chin so the back of your neck gets long, pull your belly in. Notice the length of your inhale matching the length of your exhale. If you want to use a count, choose one that feels comfortably a bit longer. Extend your right leg back. Hold your right leg in the air. Point your right toes down. So you're working internal rotation, inner thigh strength, low belly strength. Lead with your right heel to lift your right leg up and create pressure through your right foot. So it's like you'll press your right foot into a wall that isn't really there. Extend your left arm forward. You can lift it or have your left fingers on the floor out in front. That'll give you more balance, but you're still working this added back strength. So fingertips forward on the floor or arm lifted. Either way. Again, feel into your right leg. Right toes point down, lead with your right heel. Send your shoulder blades onto your back. Feel broadness in your chest. Lengthen the back of your neck. So slight tuck of the chin. And breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Hold it and take a couple breath counts, matching the length of your inhale to the length of your exhale. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder, right knee down. High plank pose. Curl your toes under, reach your heels back, shift to your tippy toes, lower all the way to the floor. Take a wide-armed cobra pose. So tips of your fingers press into the floor. Dial your elbows back, and as you draw your elbows back, feel your shoulder blades draw back. Lift as if you're being pulled up from the center of your upper back. Create that same length in the back of your neck. It's a slight tuck of the chin. And the reason for this length in the back of your neck is you're actually working a neutral spine, neutral neck rather. Keep breathing. Press the tops of your feet down into the floor so legs are strong. And the reason for the neutral neck is that your neck has a lot of mobility, so your neck can move a lot. It has a great range of motion. And what we're focusing on with this cobra pose, keep breathing, is to strengthen the upper back. And so we want to maintain neutral because that'll add a little bit of stability rather than increasing the already really mobile neck. One more breath in. Hold it for the breath out and match the length of the exhale. Hands under your elbows. Feel your chest still broad. Push up to tabletop, hands and knees. Pause, neutral. Hands under shoulders, fingertips spread wide, shoulders onto your back, so chest is broad. Left leg, send it back. Now point your left toes down. Lead with your left heel to do the lifting. Create that pressure through your left foot, almost as if you'll stamp your foot on a wall behind you. Match the length of your inhale, the length of your exhale. Bring your right fingers forward. So you're taking some of the weight out of your right hand. And also by bringing your arm forward, you're adding stability challenge. Or you could lift your right arm up. Either way, both shoulder blades onto your back. Lengthen the back of your neck, so it's a slight tuck at the chin. It's almost like someone's pulling the back of your head up and the top of your head reaches forward. Lift your left leg, belly strong, shoulder blades onto your back. Hold it and match the length of your inhale to the length of your exhale. Comfortably long breath count. Right hand down, left knee down, high plank pose. Reach your heels back, create that pressure through your fingertips onto the floor, shoulders onto your back, lengthen the back of your neck, shift onto your tippy toes, bend your elbows lower all the way down. Same version, wide-armed cobra pose. Fingertips press, elbows dial back, shoulder blades draw back, lift your upper back. Breathe. Press the tops of your feet down. The other thing that comes up when you take this movement in your head out of it is you allow for the depth to be what it is. Because like if I lift my head, if I lift my gaze up, it almost feels like I'm increasing the range of motion in the pose. And I am using my neck. And this taking the head out of it, this creating neutral for the neck, is a way to practice moving away from depth, like making the pose harder or making the pose the most, and turning towards this intentionality. So take this time in wide-armed cobra to strengthen your upper back and stabilize your neck. One more breath in. Hold it for the breath out. Lower your forehead down. Plant your hands under your elbows. Squeeze your elbows in. Send your shoulders back. So feel your upper back turn on. Lift your feet in the air. Press your knees down. Push up to tabletop. Press back to down dog. Relax the weight of your head. Some amount of bend to your knees. Lift your hips up and back. Lift your right leg in the air. And just like you did with the tabletop position, point your right toes down. For this, you can bend your left knee any amount, and you want to probably bend your left knee a little bit more to draw your left hip back. Lead with your right heel to lift your right leg. Press your hands into the floor. Take a breath cycle. Match the length of your inhale to the length of your exhale. And now bend your right knee, stack your right hip over your left. So you open your hips towards the right side. Any amount of bend in the left knee still. And you can play with bending and straightening through your right leg. Bring some motion into the right leg. Let your head be heavy. Back to three-legged dog. So draw your left hip back, right hip comes down, press through your right foot in the air, and then step your right foot down for down dog. Some amount of bend to your knees, press your chest to your thighs, lift your hips up and back, relax your head. Lift your left leg in the air, hold it there. Point your left toes down. So you're strengthening your back line with this one. Bend your right knee any amount, draw your right hip back, adding stability through the hips. Press through your left foot. So your left leg, even though it's lifted, it's really strong, and that'll add stability through the whole pose. Bend your left knee, stack your left hip over your right. Take a few bend and straighten of the left leg. Draw your right hip back, left hip comes down, down dog. Walk your feet to your hands. Uncurl, rise up to stand. Turn to the side of your mat. Take a wide step. So feet wide. Pivot on your right heel. So your right toes point to the top of your mat. Feel legs straight. So left toes are pointing to the long end. Right toes are pointing to the front end. Press your feet into the floor. Feel your thighs turn on. Bend into your right knee, warrior two. Now before you add your arms, just pause, feel into your legs. Press your left foot down. And now right knee, you want to track it forward. So notice if your right knee is coming inward, draw it wider, and then vice versa. If your right knee is really wide, bring it in. So the aim is right knee directly over your right foot rather than in or out. Press your feet into the floor. Now add the arms. Outward reach through your arms. Again, work with a neutral neck. So gaze in the same direction as your chest. Face your palms in the same direction as your chest. So thumbs point up. Outward reach through your arms. Send your shoulders onto your back. Hold it. Feet press into the floor. Add some more depth in your right leg. Now as you hold, connect in with that comfortably long breath count. Match the inhale to the length of the exhale. Side angle pose. Hands to your hips. Draw your right hip back. Tilt your left hip forward. And then right elbow, right knee. Left arm high. Face your left palm, same direction as your chest. And gaze, same direction as your chest. So rather than turning your head down or up, simply gaze out from your chest. Again, working neutral in the neck. Slight tuck of the chin. Breathe. Feel your right hip draw towards your left heel. So you're working more length through the right side body. Extend upward through your left arm and then send both shoulder blades onto your back. Hold it for a breath round. Take a comfortably long, match the inhale to the exhale. Press your right foot into the floor to lift up, standing. Toes point to the wide edge of your mat. Now take a wide-legged forward fold. Bend your knees any amount, hands to the floor, or hands at your hips, or grab for opposite elbows. Take it relaxed. Release the weight of your head. Now, as you hold here, exaggerate the Release. So like let your shoulder blades draw towards your ears. Unclench your jaw, the space between your eyebrows, and use your breath to facilitate that relaxing. So what you want to do is lengthen your exhale. So if you're taking 4 counts for the inhale, try 5 counts for the exhale. Complete the breath cycle that you're on. Take that extended exhale. And now go back to even. So if it's 4 counts for the inhale, take 4 counts for the exhale. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your knees more. Squeeze your elbows towards each other behind you. So you turn on your back, feet press into the floor, rise to stand. Other side, warrior 2 to the left. So start first with setting up the feet. Left toes point to the back edge of your mat. Press your feet firm into the floor. Now bend into your left knee. Check out where your left knee is pointing. If it's kind of tracking inward, you'll want to draw your left knee wider. And then other side of that could be true for you. If your left knee is really wide, try bringing your left knee in. You want your knee over your foot. Add the arms. Outward reach through your arms. Face your palms to the side. Head, gaze in the direction that's same as your chest. So you have neutral in your neck. Breathe. And this pose, especially with a neutral neck, it's a great example, like an epitome example of strength in the back. So you're externally rotating in your front leg, so it's turning on your glutes, your outer thighs. Outward reach of your arms, and it's a slight backward motion of your arms. Turn on your upper back. Slight tuck of your chin so the back of your neck gets long. Feel like the back of your head is drawing back and the top of your head is lifting up. Really great counterbalance to like seated positions. So many positions during the day where we're coming forward, like heads coming forward, arms are coming forward, shoulders are coming forward. Opposite action, arms back, length in the back of the neck. Stay for one more breath cycle and feel into that even length of the inhale and the exhale. Side angle, hands at your hips. Use your hands to drive your hips. So left hip draws back towards your right heel and then right hip, top hip rolls forward. Left elbow to left knee, right arm lifts. It's that same action with the right arm like you did in Warrior 2. So right arm draws back and up to turn on your back line. Left shoulder blade draws back also. Tuck of the chin, gaze to the same direction as your chest. So rather than looking down or looking up, work that neutral neck. Press your right foot firm into the floor. Draw your left hip back so you increase the length, both side bodies. Hold it. 2 breath rounds. Match length of the inhale to the length of the exhale. Press your left foot firm into the floor. Lift up to stand. Straighten your left leg. Toes point to the side edge of your mat. Forward fold. This time you're going to add a twist to it. So bend your knees generously. Bring your left hand underneath your left shoulder. So it's not exactly under your nose. It's a little bit to the left. And you can do hand or you could do fist. Right hand comes to your low back. So you want to feel into evenness in your hips. So if you notice like your right hip is kind of lifted, shift weight into your left foot and then turn your chest towards the side. Head moves with your chest. Shoulder blades onto your back. Shift more weight forward towards your toes. Pull your belly in. You can keep your right hand on your low back or you can lift your right arm up. Hold it for a breath round. And back to center, both hands down. Bend your knees a little side to side. And now other side of the twist. Right hand under your right shoulder, left hand to your low back. Feel into, if you are a little bit lifted in your left hip, like if you feel from your hand that your left hip's a little bit higher, shift weight towards your right foot, and then open your chest towards the left. Both shoulder blades onto your back. Head moves with your chest, so there's no need to gaze up. Just turn your chest and your head to the side. Shift more weight forward towards your toes. Notice, especially if you twist, if your left hip is a little bit higher, shift again, weight to your right foot. One more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Left hand down. Hands at your hips. Bend your knees, rise up to stand. Step your feet together to touch. Mountain pose at the top of your mat. Hands at heart centers. Feel neutral for a moment. Inhale, back bend with open arms. So take that arm variation of Warrior Two further by bringing your arms back. Lift your chest up. Press your hips forward. Forward fold. Plant your hands. Down dog. Tabletop. Knees come down. So now we're going to do push-ups, which seems a little contrary to yoga, but it's a powerful strengthener for the back and a broadener for the chest. Undoing seated positioning and getting into this stability in the upper back. It's super powerful. Hands as wide as your mat from your knees, or you can do it from your toes. You want to prioritize form. So if that means on your knees, that's fine. Get the length in the back of your neck. Tuck of your chin, so it's like you're being lifted from the back of your head. 5 push-ups. Take it down, push it up. Take it down, up. Now as you lower, chest is broad. 2 more. Last one. Walk your knees forward, cross your ankles, sit, plant your feet, reverse tabletop position, so opposite direction for the wrists. Plant your hands behind you. Fingers are going to point towards your hips. Lift your hips into the air. You can gaze forward, you can gaze up. Bend your elbows, and from that bend of your elbows, lift your chest. So your chest is at the highest. You can extend your elbows any amount. Hold it for a breath in. Stay for a breath out. Hips come down. Cross your ankles back to hands and knees. Second round push-ups. This time, 8 of them. Set yourself up, hands as wide as your mat. Tuck your chin so the back of your neck gets long. Toes or knees. Take it down. Push up. Down. Up. Elbows will be wide, so it's kind of like that wide-armed cobra. Chest broadens as you lower. And final piece, with your feet or your knees, create a pull, like you'll drag them forward. Last 2. 1 more. Walk your knees forward, cross your ankles. Second round, reverse tabletop pose. Plant your hands, fingers point forward, lift your hips. Bend your elbows, lift your chest higher, and you can have a bend in your elbows. You're still getting full benefit of the pose. Play a bit with shifting weight into your feet, back into your hands. 1 more breath round. Match the length of inhale to the length of exhale. Lower your hips down. Lower down onto your back. Supine pigeon. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Pull your left knee in. Stretch your outer right hip. Relax your left foot. Press your upper back down into the floor. So still, as you stretch your outer right hip, muscles of your glutes, what you're doing is you're adding that same stability in your upper back and the stretch through your chest, neutral in your neck. So back of the head presses into the floor. So now you have actually the tactile experience of the floor to press the back of your head into, to press your upper back, your shoulder blades down into. Allow your left leg to be relaxed. And now switch. Give your legs a little shake in between. Left ankle over right thigh. Pull your right knee in to stretch your outer left hip, your left glute muscles. Use the floor to actively stabilize your head and upper back. Back of the head presses into the floor. Shoulder blades, upper back presses into the floor. Relax your right foot, your right knee, your right leg. Take a comfortably long count and match inhales to exhales. Now lift your legs into the air. Give them a little shake. Hug your knees in. Take an active neutral for your whole spine. So the back of the head, upper back, and now your hips press down into the floor. So feel the curve in your low back and the curve in your neck. Maintain those. Don't press your neck and your low back into the floor. Press the back of your head, your upper back, and your hips into the floor. Feel compression in your hip flexors as you squeeze your knees in. And now set up legs up the wall pose or legs on a chair. So if you're doing legs on a chair, you'll bring your hips right up against your chair, and then with your knees bent, rest your legs, your lower legs on the chair. Alternatively, you can go right up against a wall and legs go up against the wall. And as you hold here, take an extended count for the exhale. It's intentionally adding the breath to encourage the relaxation. And the breath can be a powerful tool to support this ease. Stimulate parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest rather than the fight or flight of the sympathetic. So the exhale stimulates parasympathetic. So a longer exhale, an emphasis on the exhale to support that parasympathetic activation. Feel your body heavy. Trust the support of the wall that your legs are up against or the chair that your legs are on. Take a longer exhale, longer exhales. I encourage you to stay 3 more breath rounds. If you have 5 minutes or more, take it. Legs up the wall or legs on a chair versus the flow of blood for your legs. Just like that extended exhale breath stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, this reverse of gravity in your legs affects your heart in such a way that it stimulates parasympathetic, creates a calming effect physically. When you move out, take a moment to acknowledge the completion of your practice.